From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured, held, and shipped off into slavery. So don't wait. Secure your spot today. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
My name is Naledi Mfoloe, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our communities. Now, today, the so-called white genocide narrative in South Africa is back in the headlines. But this time, it's not being posted by fringe websites or anonymous message boards. It's being echoed very loudly by US President Donald Trump. Now, Trump, speaking to the reporters in Washington, claimed that white Afrikaners are facing a genocide in South Africa, and he justified his administration's decision to resettle 49 Afrikaners as refugees, allegedly fleeing for their lives. But here at home, EFF leader Julius Malema isn't having it. Now, in a recent interview with local press, Malema dismissed the entire narrative as fiction and drama, and going so far as to say that America, when it comes to drama, is number one. Let's take a look at this clip and come and discuss.
It will be illegal and we're going to fight it. There are no Afrikaners who have been killed here in South Africa. It's not true. And there are no 49 Afrikaners who left South Africa. You all know that. It's a fiction. It's drama. You know, America with drama is number one. That thing is Movango. I don't know what is Movango in Africa. It's just a drama. I believe they landed and then they waited for cameras, took them pictures. The next flight back to South Africa. If those people are farmers, it means there are 49 farms available. Why are we not expropriating them? Because they've abandoned them. But why is the media not telling us? Because they say these are farmers. Why is the media, through its own investigation, say to us, this picture you see is a farmer at this. They are not farmers. There's no one who left farming here in South Africa. I suspect that those whites were these ones who were looking after cars at the parking lot. They were attending to cars and they went to fetch them there. They can't live. They will never live the kind of life they live here in South Africa, anywhere else. Even if you live here as a millionaire and you go to USA, your money gets reduced to nothing. So no American or Afrikaner will leave South Africa for America. It's not true. Our country, there's no killing of white people. We're not killing white people. We're demanding our land. We're saying, let's share this land. Let's all work the land. And if that is a crime, it's a crime we're prepared to commit. Because we can't, when we're asking for food, and say, no, you're committing crime by asking. We're having a robust debate on land in South Africa. And that must never be used to silence us by America.
Now, as you can see, right, Malema didn't mince his words. And while his wording may be confrontation, he's not alone in challenging this claim. The South African government and several independent experts and even the DA, which is the Democratic Alliance, have all disputed the idea of any organized genocide or targeted prosecution against white farmers. Let's watch.
I think it's also a very good opportunity for President Ramaphosa to be able to meet with his counterpart to dispel some of the myths and misinformation that have been whispered in his ear about South Africa. Things like a genocide. There's no genocide in South Africa. Things like mass expropriation without compensation. It's not a single farm that's been expropriated without compensation in South Africa. Yes, we have some issues with crime and criminality, but these affect all of our citizens in the same way.
What Trump calls genocide, we South Africans know as a country grappling with inequality and unfinished business of justice. And yes, tragically, farmers of all races, by the way, have been victims of crime. But to isolate white suffering and inflate it into genocide is not only dishonest, but it's quite dangerous. And Malema made a very sharp point when he said that if 49 Afrikaner farmers truly left the country, then shouldn't that mean that 49 farms are now available for redistribution? I believe it's a question the media hasn't asked, which is a question that reminds us of how selective outrage often is, especially when race and power are involved. And let's be clear, right? Land in South Africa is not just a matter of property, but it is a matter of history. It is a matter of justice because generations of Black South Africans were forcefully removed to the margins while the land and the economy was structured around their exclusion. So the land reform is not persecution, but it is restoration. And when the West sees this process and calls it reverse racism, they're not defending human rights at all. They're defending a legacy of inequality because there is no genocide here, but there is discomfort. There is a resistance to change, and some would rather flee the country than face the fed redistribution of a deeply unfair past. And Mr. Trump, on the other hand, is actually playing politics with our pain again. He's turning a post-apartheid reckoning into an election talking point, and he's exploiting South Africa's unresolved tensions to stroke racial paranoia among his base. And as we conclude, I will repeat what Malema said. If the land is being abandoned, then let the people claim it. And if you ask me, I say this is not drama, but this is democracy in progress. And I'm here for that. What are your thoughts on this? Please, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. I'd really like to hear what your thoughts are on this. And while you're at it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up.